Hey everybody, good morning. Happy Friday to you. Welcome to DCC Today. We have made it through another week and great to have you back with us. We've got another photo to start the day off with. This one was actually sent to me several weeks ago and I don't know why, I'm just getting it into the rotation now, but Greg Houston sent this and a picture of the night sky, and it was Venus over the moon. Now you can't see this anymore because somehow it got stuck in my picture file for so long that everything has shifted. But back when Greg took this picture, Venus was there above the moon, and beautiful night shot he sent to us. So thanks, Greg. This Sunday, plan to join us for church. Sunday morning we'll be once again in the book of James, our series Faith Has Feet. And as we started last week, the services are now online and available as of midnight Saturday night. Or is that midnight Sunday morning? Well, starting at midnight, if you're a real early riser, you could watch it that early. We don't think you're going to do that, but some of you like to do church earlier than the 10 o'clock hour that we were posting at. So now you can watch a little earlier. And so I hope you'll join us. I've been saying all week to mark your calendars for the summer celebration coming up on August 30th, and that we have moved this from a sit down in the park service at Carrie Blake Park. It now is going to be a drive-in service over at the Cole Farm. And because we're still in the phase 2 restrictions, making it a drive-in service means that we can have as many people come as we want. And I hope that you will come, bring your car, and it's going to be a great morning. We've got a lot of great music lined up. We're going to be recognizing Pastor Wayne and David Piper, who just left as our youth pastor after 7 years of service. He's gone back to seminary. He and Lorna are coming back up. We'll be recognizing them. We've got some other special things in mind that I'm not quite ready to announce yet, but we're working on it. We're going to be doing communion together. We've got a way to do that safely, and I think that'll be a really special time for us. And of course, spending some time in the Word. So be on the lookout. We'll be getting the banner up soon that you can click on to register. The main reason we need the registration is so we know how many cars we're going to be parking. Don't worry, there's plenty of parking. We figure we can park at least 500 vehicles out there. So plenty of parking, but we would like some idea of how many we're planning for. So we will let you know as soon as that registration form is available. Okay, devotional thought for the day. This comes from 1 John chapter 1, verse 5. John says, "This is the message we have heard from him and proclaim to you, that God is light, and in him is no darkness at all." I have told this story before. I'll probably tell the story again. But our middle son, David, who's grown and married now, but when he was a little guy, he was in a preschool class, and someone asked, he was drawing a picture, he said, of God. And they said, well, how would you draw a picture of God? And he said, well, you'd have to use a lot of white crayons and you'd probably break them. That's a pretty good definition of what John is saying. God is light, and in him there is no darkness. There is no impurity, there is no dishonesty, there are no underhanded motives. God is light, and he is the one we've put our trust in. So I hope you'll just think about that today. Maybe get out your white crayons and see what kind of picture you can draw. Hey, we're going to do another segment. It's Friday, and we've been working our way through the story of Sergeant Robert Bourquin and his amazing, I can't say adventure. That's not really the right story, the right word, but his experience. First being in the battle for Wake Island, and then spending the rest of World War II as a prisoner of war in a Japanese concentration camp. And so we're going to pick that story up again with another installment, and I hope you enjoy this.
The release from prison was a marvelous time. I remember it just like it was yesterday. We were in a prison camp. I was in Hakodate Branch 3 on the island of Hokkaido in northern Japan, the northernmost island of the island string. And we started to go to work that morning, and they brought us back in the camp and said, Yasame, no work today, rest. And we noticed a lot of the Japanese guards were wiping tears out of their eyes. And they just looked awful. And so we knew something big was happening. And there was a guard that I knew that worked in the galley. Habisha was his first name. I said, Habisha, what's happening? And he said, Hiroshima, Ichitsukogi, Ichi boom, Hiroshima Shimba. And I said, you're crazy. One airplane and one bomb. He was telling me about the atomic bomb. And he says, Ichi boom, Hiroshima. And he wiped tears out of his eye. Well, so then we had no idea what an atomic bomb was. And then later in the day, this huge flight of B-29s flew over us. And we thought, good Lord, they're going to bomb our camp, which they did in some cases in Japan. And the bomb bay doors opened, and these leaflets fell. And they were written in 3 different languages. And in English it said, the Japanese government has surrendered. Then it explained to us to stay in our camps, and that food and medicine and clothing and all would be dropped to us later. And later in the day, Navy planes came over. And they started dropping these big 50-gallon drums of food and bales of clothing and medicine and stuff. And one of the drums came down. We had an area marked off, but they were missing. Some of the parachutes didn't open. And one parachute didn't open, and this huge drum came down, hit the ground, and split open. And it was full of gallon cans of peaches. And one of them hit a Wake Island sergeant who had gone through all that prison life, hit him in the back of the head and killed him. And we had Korean slave workers in another camp right by us. And 2 of the Korean workers were killed, and one dropped into our power supply. So it was really a hectic time. We got all this clothing and medicines and food, and of course, being so hungry, we immediately started eating American food. And we all got sick. Couldn't take it. Too sweet, too salty, couldn't stand it. So our cooks had to take our American rations that we got from the Navy and incorporate them with our rice and our soup that we were used to.
Well, those are some amazing stories. And I think we've got maybe another 2 or 3 segments to go before we wrap this up, but I hope you're enjoying it. And I trust you have a great weekend, and that you will join us Sunday morning for church. And then we will be back here again Monday morning for DCC Today. And until then, God bless.